Have you ever looked at those watercolor floral paintings and thought to yourself, wow, that looks so effortless, so magical. I'm going to try that today. And then you sit down at your desk, you start painting, and like 30 minutes later, you're staring at a hot mess, overworked blobs. It's not fresh. It looks more like a creative disaster. Well, I have been painting with my dear friend Chelsea from Australia. She's been painting flowers with me. I've been painting landscapes with her, and it has been so much fun. So today we're going to talk about 3 mistakes ruining your loose watercolor florals. So stick around. So today we're tackling 3 biggest pain points that are quietly ruining your florals and exactly how you can fix them. So just say that Chelsea just started her YouTube channel, so go over there and give her some love. I'll give you the link down below so you can follow her over there for wonderful floral tips. All right, so mistake number 1, the floodgates. This is your water to paint ratio. All right, we want to paint wet into wet loose florals, but the temptation to make the paper really, really wet is very appealing. But if you can see what happens with your brush, if you overload with water and you drop in color, the pigment just pretty much loses control. It kind of races to the edges, it pools into a big puddle, and then when it dries, you lose all of those beautiful petal shapes. It just looks like a very flat wash, and it usually is very light because you had so much water in there. Here's the fix. You want your paper to, or your initial wash to have like that soft satin sheen. So not like a swimming pool, you guys. What you want to do is think of it this way. If your paper looks shiny like a mirror, then it's probably too wet. You want to dab your brush on a paper towel first, and then you want to put in just enough moisture so that the edges of your petals end up smooth, but stay exactly where you put them this way. Mistake number 2 is the over mixer or making muddy colors. In the waffle cone piece, I used a gorgeous vibrant palette of these rich purples, sunny yellows, warm pinks. Now, yellows and purples are complementary colors, which mean they will mix to brown if you get them too close together. And so you have to be very careful when you drop yellow next to purple, and you don't want to keep playing with it, keep stirring it around with your brush because you're going to get instant mud that way. So the fix is lay down your first color, drop your second color right next to it or gently touch the edge, and then step away from the paper. Let the water do the movement for you, because when the pigments bleed into each other naturally on the page, they look actually very, very stunning. You get those beautiful, clean transitions instead of mud, because if you use your brush to mix the colors, it's going to mix your colors. So your yellow and your purple are going to mix. Letting the water do the work without the brush is the key to that. All right, mistake number 3 is I have a problem with my florals this way, is suffocating my painting with no white space. I think when we make a bouquet, what our brain does is it tells us to fill in every single gap. But if you paint a solid block of colors with no breaks, the eye has nowhere to rest. So it feels heavy, it feels flat, and you can really lose that airy quality about your watercolor, which was always my problem when I did watercolors. So here's the fix. You have to embrace your white space, and I still can do better. I know I can do better with this. Leaving those tiny little unpainted areas, little flecks of dry white paper inside your flower clusters is really what makes it look like it's trapped light in there. It gives that illusion of highlights. It gives you that loose detail. It gives you breathing room. And it really makes a difference in your florals and making them feel alive. So you can see I have around the edges of most of these florals, I've left a little bit of white space. I was so proud of myself. So I think once you master the water control and you let the colors mix themselves, again, it gives your painting room to breathe. It really becomes much more pleasurable to paint flowers. And you guys know, if you've been following me along, I keep saying that I am very frustrated with flowers, and I honestly don't know if I'll ever not be. because this is going on to 2 years and I still feel that. But the loose floral style really, I really like it, because if I can give up control on some of this and not overpaint it, I think my flowers are getting better. I feel better about them, much better than I used to be. And it all started with my loose floral, 7 days loose floral class that I did. I think it was like 2 years ago now, and it's still available if you want to check it out. I'll leave the link down below for you, but it's kind of like my eye-opening experience with florals. I also figured that when I first start my blooms, I tended to overwork them right away instead of putting in my main characters in the story, the piece, letting them dry slightly, dropping in colors here and there as they were drying, because you get those lovely blooms in there. And then I actually saved all of those little details like I do with my seascapes to the very end. So I had a tendency, like most people, even with seascapes, you want to detail right away, but you've got to get all of those beautiful layers and washes in there before you start to do those details. So keep that in mind. Pen and ink on florals is great too. I love to do pen and ink. So if you like this preview and you want the full tips and put them into practice, I would love to have you join my Patreon or Chelsea's Patreon community for lots of weekly fun. I have full unedited versions of my paintings in real time, the real-time tutorial for this exact waffle cone that is waiting for you right now. And when you do join, you get traceable sketches, you can skip drawing parts, you can go straight to paintings, plus we have ad-free YouTube tutorials. We have exclusive bonus content, and we also have our weekly 5-minute Fridays where we warm up together. And I'm going to Maine soon. I'll be heading over there for the summer, so we'll be doing lots of seascapes. I'll be painting with my mom, and she'll be making her little cameo appearances with me, which will be really fun. So we would absolutely love to have you in our creative circle, and I will put that link in the description box below so you can unlock this tutorial and pull up your chair and paint with us. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, the little bell, so you get notifications whenever I go live, and you won't miss a video that way. And also check out Chelsea's page, her YouTube channel, and her Patreon. Show her some love over there. All right, guys, we will see you in the next one. Bye.